Okay, hopefully this is going to be a bug-free spectatorship of the final of our Sunday night fight with Gibby and CaD. CaD is like our resident champion, so it's going to be interesting tonight. Gibby is a serious player who's actually currently, as we speak, like ranked 500 legendary on the NA server, so this should be pretty good. But I'm really worried this is already bugged out. So we've had so many problems tonight with this damn spectator mode. It's unreal. Stand by, guys. Unreal. This is just so sad. So can I tell it to leave? Yes. Okay. That's a start. Okay, let's try again. In. And as you guys can see, CaD is actually currently ranked #1, and with like 11 days left in the season, then there's no doubt he's going to be up in the legendary ranks as well. Okay, we're in. That's a start. So, we'll work from here. Gibby will invite us. I'm pretty sure of that. He'll get there quickly. Unless it doesn't show invite. Like, we're having those kinds of like just weird little ticky problems, which we've been having. But, hopefully. See, this is possible. Like they're going. This is what happened in the last game. We were watching it, and just nothing happened for a while, and then it was apparent the game had been carrying on without us, which looks like that's what could be happening right now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. So let's come out of here. And we'll go into the Gibby side of things. Okay. So we got one. We got the invite. We got the cards. Now will we get to see gameplay? I'm hoping. Like this, I've been looking forward to this match. This is two very good players with some very good decks, especially getting to watch a priest play. Now we see him touching his card. He played his card. It's amazing. It might actually work. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon. But can we see some warrior movement here? Alright. Alright. Load up that fiery war axe. Well, that's how you handle a wild pyromancer before he gets too wild. So there you go. Looks like it actually might be working. Excellent. Good job, boys. Okay. We're going to get a final. And Gibby's been pretty dominant with his patron warrior, and exactly the same for CaD. He has just mopped it up with the priest. So this is going to be a great first match. And one thing that you're probably not used to if you're playing sort of generally lower on the ladder, anywhere in between on the ladder, and even like up to some of the higher rankings, like you're going to see a lot of aggressive decks. And what we're going to see here are some of the more patient decks that are. I mean, actually, I would almost say that the priest deck is more aggressive than the warrior deck in this place, because the warrior deck is really based on setting up strong combination attacks. Drawing into these combinations, getting them set up, and then just going like ham on your opponent. Whereas this priest deck actually has some aggressive cards like the Injured Blade Master, and he's got fast plays, and still slow compared to like the sort of aggro meta. But at the same time, I'm just saying, like on this matchup, the priest might be a little quicker. Having said that, he hasn't really drawn into cards that are just going to get him out of the gates right away. Now, we did see in the last match for CaD that he played against another patron warrior and managed to thought steal the patron, which was quite funny because it suddenly became the threat for the priest instead. So yeah, this is kind of fun. I think we're just going to see Gnomish Inventor here. Pretty standard turn 4 draw. He doesn't really need to like armor up, and I don't know. I mean, I can't see where Deathbite is the play here because you're not really setting up to use its Death Rattle for anything. So it should be Gnomish Inventor. And Vol'jin sighting. Look at that. See, I don't know. Did we see Vol'jin in one of the last games? I mean, I imagine we knew he was in the deck, but Vol'jin. I mean, the thing is that there's not going to be a lot of great targets for Vol'jin in the warrior deck. So it's going to be more about whether CaD uses probably one of his own minions in that situation. But we're going to find out probably fairly soon. I imagine he's going to want to get him on the board. And now Gibby's going to load up Despite, so because he's actually got something to work his way through. And if he can draw into Warsong Commander, he can actually, you know, get off a fair amount of damage on one turn. Probably not a lot, but it would definitely pose a problem for the Priest. Now he's going to resurrect Sludge Belcher, right? That's the only minion he's played so far? Oh no, that's right, also Wild Pyromancer. So he gets to clear up the sort of leftovers on the Warriors board and heal, draw. It's a nice little combo, and he's never going to play Circle of Healing here, though. Okay, so do you slam? I guess you slam the Cleric, right? You want to fish. You want to get like another card out of your deck here. There's no point in like just slamming the Pyromancer, is there? Alright, no. So Gibby goes ahead and slams the Cleric, draws into the nice free Dread Corsair there, and I mean, he doesn't really have to attack with his axe right now. I think that's what he's trying to figure out. Like, if he's going to attack, he shouldn't play the Dread Corsair on this turn, because he's going to have more chances to get it out with more weapons. And at this point up in the mana curve, he's going to be able to drop it on some turns anyway. But if he doesn't want to use his axe, it's probably better play. Okay, so excuse me on this one. So I guess what he's going to do is he's going to use it to clear like that, and then get the double card draw off Battle Rage. I suppose Dread Corsair is not like a really important card in this deck. It's just a sort of quick taunt function that allows for other situations like, you know, building up a Frothian Berserker or just slowing down an attack while you sort of continue drawing. But here he's going to get 2 full health. CaD's going to get 2 full health injured Blade Masters, which having the Dread Corsair at full health doesn't really affect him at this point. So Despite number 2. And these things come into the Warriors' calculations. Like, you need the Death Rattle off of Despite at some point to charge either your Patrons or your Frothing Berserker. Now you see you've got like the Unstable Ghoul's Death Rattle, do 1 damage to all minions, and you've got like Whirlwind, but we've seen a couple of these used already, and at the same time, you know, you kind of do have to calculate your ability to finish off an opponent, and the Priest is going to be one of the harder opponents to finish off unless you've got like a really big board advantage, which, I mean, you can build that with the Patrons, but it's quite lucky for Gibby at this point that the Priest is sort of out of cards. It's rare the Priest is this low on cards. He's just been unlucky. Gibby has shut down the Clerics pretty quickly and made it difficult for CaD to draw. Still, though, as you can see right now, CaD has done the most damage. You know, they both have the ability there. The hero power of both players is to heal. Yeah, essentially, like the warrior gets the same hero power as the priest, but he doesn't have to spend it on his minions. So it's every time the warrior uses his hero power, he's essentially healing himself. And the priest is still managing to do like the greater portion of the damage. Now here we can lose. Yeah, we're gonna lose the Arknight Soul Priest, and the warrior is gonna draw 3 cards off Battle Rage, and 1 off the Acolyte. He gets to execute the Blade Master, and this is a pretty big swing for the warrior, considering now what's available to him in his hand versus, you know, what the priest is working with. I think he's really hoping for Sludge Belcher here. He gets, wow, that's just pretty awful. But he's going to use the Unstable Ghoul as a draw mechanism. Shadow Madness. It's another card draw if he wants it, you know. It's not like a strong play, but he could have always taken the Acolyte and pinged a card off him as well. And now I think Gibby's got to figure out if he can get a really big frothing attack. I think he can. If he goes Warsong, frothing, Inner Rage, or do you just go Warsong? Yeah, he's going to go for all of it. I mean, I suppose he figures he's not going to get the... Is this going to be enough for lethal? That's like 6 times 2. I mean, that puts him up to 11 each. It's going to be really close. It might be if the Acolyte hits the Northshire Cleric. That's 2 more damage for each of them. Yeah, it is. That's enough, right? Oh, no. So if see the amount that the Frothing Berserkers got to, and the fact that the priest is on 26 health, I think if Gibby had hit the Acolyte of Pain into the Northshire Cleric before attacking with the Berserkers, he would have actually had lethal there. I don't know if he had enough time to calculate the total damage points, or if I'm just missing something, but I think that's what could have been lethal right there. Yep, and that is game 1 to Gibby and the Patron Warrior. Alright, so the priest can be beat, and that has just been proven. Now hopefully spectator mode just, keeps us going right into the next game. Would be nice. Maybe. It looks like it's just locked me out like it was doing earlier. Oh god, yeah. I'm currently spectating this player. Alright. Oh, at least they're being good boys and waiting for my instructions on this one. I know. Well, I'm telling you, I told you I was bringing some heat tonight, bringing some more players that could play. So, like this is some for real shit right here. Like, Cad is a good player, and so is Gibby, and so is Stax, like, so are you. Like, we're starting to, like, build up, like, some actual serious shit here. Sean's like me. Sean's a good player, but Sean, like, is too interested in his fun decks to, like, really focus on the tough ones really hard. Like, I think Sean could be, like, legendary if he actually, like, wanted to. You know what I mean? But it's like, why? What the fuck is the point? Alright, here we go. Like, we like Hearthstone because it's an interesting challenge in the sense that, there's so much random interesting crap that you can do with decks. Like, we just want to explore it all. You just saw Murloc Priest versus Patron Priest. Not really. You didn't really see that. You saw like 5 turns of me getting my ass whooped because I made a couple horrible misplays, but whatever. But you just basically saw Murloc Priest versus Patron Priest, and you'll see some more of that later. Oh shit. Did I spectate the wrong one again? Why did I grab the wrong one? It looked like it worked less happily when I was watching Cad earlier, but we'll see. So we know Cad is playing with the Mallylock, that's for sure. Gibby's got the traditional handlock, right? Is it going to be not working? Let's go into Gibby anyway, just because that was working better last time, just to make sure. Okay, yeah, and we're into the Gibby side of things now, and we can see that that's looks like a straight up handlock. Sean is telling us that it is as well. And we know what CAD's working with here in general in this deck, so we kind of know what to expect. We'll see. I don't want to like make him invite right away. Maybe we should just to make sure. Let me just get like right on it. I'm just worried that this crap is gonna stop working again. This crap brought to you by Open Broadcasting System. And Blizzard's spectate your friends at Hearthstone. Oh god, it's just like so many cards to look at. It's the funniest thing when we go into this. It's like, here, let us just show you since they're all upside down and small. Okay, looks like it's going to work. So the question is, will Gibby just straight blow him out with his handlock skills, or are we going to see like a Mallylock victory? I don't know. This is like going to be a tough game. And what's the consideration in putting Defender of Argus on your Drake here? You get a 5/10 Drake, so essentially it's going to kill his Drake and still be alive. And these are the plays that like I wonder about when I'm playing handlock, and I do things like, well, I'm going to be greedy with Defender of Argus, and I'm going to like wait to get him on 2 targets, or maybe I don't need to taunt my Drake right now because, you know, maybe I need to save it for Dread Infernals later on. And I think that these are the things that probably where we make sort of normal mistakes. Players like less, maybe more casual, you know, less serious, less of grinders, where I don't always see the value in just dropping Defender of Argus on turn 5 onto a Twilight Drake. So yeah, this is stuff that we can learn from. But we see CAD with the good answer there, where he actually uses Abusive Sergeant comboed with Big Game Hunter to get rid of that Twilight Drake pretty easily. And then now he gets to kill off the Emperor at a pretty reasonable price. I mean, seriously, you get the battle cry from that Blackwing Corruptor, plus the Abusive Sergeant, and he's taken out like the Twilight Drake and Emperor from those 2 plays. Is actually pretty efficient. And that just shows you some of the advantages of playing like Mallylock. Like, I'm not saying advantages against Warlock, but just in general, like you do get these nice little kill combinations that allow you to put like still keep putting good strong minions on the board, but at the same time maintain control. So there's the Shadow Flame play on the Ancient Watcher. That pretty much takes care of the board, and then Gibby finishes it off with a Dark Bomb and a card draw from the Mortal Coil. Azure Drake gets the card draw, and he still holds the coin, so he could play. I think he's going to play Blackwing Technician here. And that's what I was saying earlier about Mallylock. It's just nice to have more bodies that kind of do things. Like you with handlock, you're expected to set things up an awful lot, and you know, it's definitely proven to work very well. But this is why some people are slightly, you know, more turned on by the idea of this Mallylock hand. I mean, we saw Demon Lock in a couple of like versions of Demon Lock. There's ways to play it that's like all demons, and there's ways to play it that is almost exactly like Handlock, except that now Ganis is in it in the place of, you know, one other creature. But Mallylock is actually almost a full break from the tradition. I mean, there are some classic cards like Twilight Drake happens to go in it because it's a dragon-based hand. But at the same time, like Blackwing Technicians, Azure Drakes, you know, like the Abusive Sergeant combinations in there, like it is really kind of refreshing to see a slightly different Warlock. It's not a zoo, and it is not your traditional handlock, so definitely like refreshing. So what's Gibby thinking here? He's gonna go giant taunt, right? And I think he wants to go giant taunt where he leaves Dr. Boom sort of free to keep attacking. And I think he just wants to go face with Dr. Boom. And then, like, what do you hope that the Boombot? Well, you take the Boombot to face. I think Baby would have gone for one of the imps and either tried to get both imps off the board, or maybe even got like a bigger than one hit on face. Perhaps he's saving it, but I'll have to ask about that one at some point. Just, it seems like a small play, but I wonder like if it's important to save it. Well, drawing into big game hunter is always going to help. And he gets to finish off the Dr. Boom as well, and a Boombot, which will finish off the big game hunter. So now you're looking at your cards, and do you just tap? Because you're almost always going to play the Drake here. And if you tap down to, you can still play Molten Giant. No, you can't, can you? You can't play Molten Giant and Anti-Killbot. So you're going to tap anyway. So do you play a Giant is the question. Do you play the Drake now? Looks like he's going to Hellfire. And because of the Hellfire, he does get double Molten Giant. So that's pretty sick. He puts an awful lot of pressure on the board. And it doesn't look like CAD actually can directly respond to this. I think we see a Shadow Flame, but we do not see a target for Shadow Flame that's going to clear these Giants. So he can heal and buy himself a little bit of time, but it's not a lot. And he drops the ooze. I mean, he knows he's playing handlock, but I think he also knows he's just not going to make it to the point in the game where the ooze even matters. And that, with Hellfire, will do it. Wow. Alright, so Gibby does take the finals down. Well done, sir. Good job. And unlucky to CaDaBu, who I think for the first time since we've started playing these tournaments has been unseated. So hopefully there will be some revenge suck in the next week. But for now, that'll do it for Sunday Night Fights. And thanks to everybody for participating. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. Good night.